Hey everyone, this is Julia, the Nomadic Crafter, in the sewing room with Bambi Dog. And I'm here to show you the completed projects that I worked on for my client, which were a few Grateful Dead pieces and another piece from her school. So if you haven't watched the before video, which is called My Next Project, in that video, I show you the pieces before they were transformed. This is clothing that my client sent to me to transform. And it was just a bunch of t-shirts and a skirt, a shirt, and a sweater. And if you haven't seen that video, check it out because I share my design ideas with you. In this video, I'm going to show you the completed pieces and how it came out. Did it come out like I designed it or not? So I'm feeling a little under the weather, so my energy is probably going to be a little bit lower. But I already did this video once, and then I decided to add one more thing to the sweatshirt, and I'm super happy about it, which is why I've got this little bit of up energy right now. But really, I'm not feeling all that well, kiddos. I'm going to go to bed early. All right, so piece number one. And I forgot to mention, this is the skirt with the t-shirt, and I forgot to mention that that's a dancing bear, another Grateful Dead symbol, of course, that came from the 80s. And the thing about this is a tie-dye that was done by hand. So, Grateful Dead heads are known for their development of the art form of tie-dye. And to be able to come up with the design to get this dancing bear is brilliant. And many of the other designs that flourished over time, I mean, it started out just as regular tie-dyes. And over time, people got really, really good at it. So what I did was I took a t-shirt, this tie-dye, and I cut it into parts, and I put the front piece on the front and the back piece on the back, which is really vibrant and beautiful. And the idea I originally had was the sleeves of the t-shirt were here, and I was going to leave them attached front and back, then cut them into fringes, which you could tie on the side of the skirt. But that did not end up working out because there was a big giant seam on the sleeve that was past the skirt so that the fringes would have this thread hanging off of it, this chunky part that wasn't good. So I ended up just attaching the shirt and then doing long fringes on each side there. So they're on each side of the skirt, and that's what I ended up doing, which I love. And the fun thing about goofy, fun additions like this is you can cut it off. If you don't like that part, you can cut it off. Now, the other thing I did was I was going to put little pockets in here in the ears, and I did. And right there, I closed the ear there, and I was worried, that you'd be able to see that. You can't really see it at all. So the pocket goes around like that. And there's two of them, and they're great. They don't mess up I thought they were going to sag too much, but they don't. So there's the first piece. And I'm very happy with it. I think she'll like it. I just love this. And sometimes I love to just make a panel in the front of a skirt in the back that are loose. This panel skirt idea, I love that too. Very third world couture, as I call it. Now, the next piece is one of my favorites, which is the Scarlet Begonias sweatshirt. She had rings on her fingers and bells on her shoes. I knew without asking she was into the blues. She wore scarlet begonias tucked into her curls. I knew right away she was not like other girls. So I ended up putting that on there. And then on the sleeves, I ended up putting a heart on one side and a stripe on the other. And I just love the counterbalance of these two. It's almost like boyish, girlish, kind of like my t-shirt dresses with like a sports top or a top with a car on it, and then a floral girly skirt. I love that mix. But anyway, this is the heart on the sleeve, sort of like wearing your heart on your sleeve, and which deadheads are apt to do. And then the other side has this little tie-dye stripe from the t-shirt, and I love it. Love the interplay of those two things. I didn't want to add too much to make it like just stuff everywhere, More stuff is not necessarily better, as we know in van life. And for those of you who've never watched my channel, my name is the Nomadic Crafter because I travel around in my van and find places to sew and make hats. And I live in a van. My dog and I do. That's Bambi. Now, the next piece is just a piece made of t-shirts from my client's school. And here it is. So this is a t-shirt with other t-shirts made into a skirt below out of strip patchwork. And as you can see, the waistline is curved. It is higher on one side than the other side. And the bottom is the same pattern, higher on one side than the other side. And this is the back. And it's, you know, it is gathered so that it has some room there. And you can see it's a draped, you know, shorter on this side, longer on that side design. I love that. So a very simple, comfortable dress. I don't know where the waist is going to hit her, so I hope that it looks good. I mean, it's too big for me, so I can't really see what it's going to look like. Anyway, so that's that dress. And you'll remember my last project for the same client, I did a dress where I put the t-shirts in a curve and then had them loose on each side. And I really liked that design, but I wanted to give her something different this time. Now for my last and favorite piece, this Grateful Dead top. So you remember I wanted to put this t-shirt on here and cut these fringes out. And it looks really cool when I lay it down and have the fringes out in a big circle. Like that, you can see the total shape of it. But anyway, so I cut the fringes and I made them longer on the bottom. And she can trim that size down if she wants to. But what happened was when you take t-shirt fabric, here, let me lay this down a little bit. And you cut it, when you pull it, it makes this nice rounded fringe. But what happened is that didn't happen for some of these. They're more flat because the t-shirt was cut at an angle from its weave. And so it didn't create the fringe in the same way. It's twisting kind of nicely though. So they're not all the same. And I know it probably looks lower on the, going back to what I said, they're not all exactly the same, but I think it still looks balanced and good. But the other thing is it might look low on the shirt, but it's not because the shirt's larger than it looks on this. I think it's placed at the right place for her chest there. So yeah, and that's of course a Steal Your Face Grateful Dead design. Red, white, and blue, baby. Grateful Dead, all American. So let's see. Oh, I think that's it. So that is the final piece. I don't even know how long it took, a couple of days. I've been a little bit inefficient in my work lately, I feel, so, but it's done and I'll be sending it out to her tomorrow. Pretty soon, well, let me back up. So I have a store on Etsy called California Patchwork where you can order, buy an order to send me your clothes, which I then transform as I've done here. And as you can see in other videos that I've done before, they're not over there. I don't know why I'm pointing over there. But you can go to that store on Etsy.com, ETSY.com. You can go to Etsy.com/stores/California Patchwork. So I'm still taking custom orders at this time. I also have pieces that are ready to ship that I've made out of my own imagination. But at some point coming up here, when I'm getting ready to leave San Diego, I will stop taking custom orders because I won't have a mailing address to receive the packages to then work on the clothes, you see. So that's kind of an issue living in a van and being nomadic crafter, being able to receive packages to work on custom orders. So I never know where I'm going to be able to find a sewing place that I can afford or that works for me. And I never know if I'm going to be able to get general delivery mail at any town I go through. And I never know what the parking's going to be like there. So right now I've been really lucky to be here for a while and I've completed a lot of things and a lot of custom orders. It's been really fun. So yeah, that's about it. Please go check out my stuff if you haven't already. And for those of you wanting custom orders that have expressed that, please get those into me. And after this, I might even get a little motel room for like 3 nights and do some sewing at some point. So yeah, you never know. I mean, I really want this thing to be able to flow where I do find sewing places. So I certainly will be trying. But anyway, you can check that out. And if you have any questions about the projects I've done here, about sewing on the road or the website Etsy.com and selling on there and what it's like to do that, just let me know in the comments and let me know what you think about the pieces. So don't forget to watch the first video before this one. And thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, or don't and just watch. That's fine. But please subscribe. All right. Thank you so much. Hey, have a great day.